Okay, hi guys. Let's just do a recap of this week's physics lesson. Okay, so we looked at conduction, we looked at convection, and we looked at radiation. Okay, so conduction happens in solid, convection in liquid or gas, and radiation, no particles needed. It involves electromagnetic rays. Okay, so conduction. Okay, you have electric conductors, we have heat conductors. Okay, electric conductors are basically when you learned circuit, when you learned how there is current in a circuit, it's flow of electrons. Okay, so electrical conductors are materials that allow electrons to flow through it easily. Okay, so for example, our wires allow electric current, allows electrons to pass through. You can get electricity. Why? Because wires are made of copper, and copper is a good conductor of electricity. So copper is a good material that allows electrons to flow through. So any material that allows electrons to flow through it, they are good electrical conductors. And then we have heat conductors. For example, our cooking utensils, they're made of metal. Why? Because it can absorb heat and it can transfer heat to any other objects that come into contact with it. For example, our metal spoons we use to cook, when the food comes into contact with the metal spoon, the food is cooked. Why? Because the metal spoon is a good conductor of heat. So it absorbs heat from the fire and it transfers the heat to the food, allowing the food to be cooked. Okay, so we have electrical conductors and we have heat conductors. Then together with conductors, we also have insulators. Insulators is the opposite of conductors. So if electrical conductors allow electrons to flow through, insulators do not allow electrons to flow through. Same thing with heat. Okay, heat insulators are objects that cannot conduct heat. For example, like plastic and wood. Okay, they cannot conduct heat. And then we also saw convection. Okay, convection is basically like a cycle. Okay, a cycle. So I have a pot of water. Okay, I have a pot of water and I'm giving it heat. Okay, when I'm giving it heat, the particles at the bottom, they will start vibrating. They will gain kinetic energy because heat is being given to them. They will gain kinetic energy, they will hit each other, they will move further apart. When they move further apart from each other, they are not as dense anymore. They're not as densely packed. So when they are far away, okay, let's say they become far away, what happens is they become less dense. When they are less dense, they automatically float. It's like they're becoming lighter, okay, in non-scientific ways. Okay, they're becoming lighter, so when it is lighter, it will float, it will move to the top. And then all the cold air particles, they are denser, so they will move to the bottom, they will sink. So the process of the warm water or the warm air rising and the cold air sinking, this process of going up and coming down, this is called convection, where the warm air arises and the cool air sinks. Okay, so this happens in liquid and gas. Okay, liquid or gas. Solid, no, solid is conduction. Liquid or gas is convection. Okay, process of convection. And we also saw that there are two types of convection. There is what we saw, natural convection, and then we have forced convection. Okay, as well. And then we saw radiation. So for radiation, no particles are needed. Okay, so for like conduction, we have solid. Convection is liquid or gas. Radiation, there's no particles. Why? Because it involves electromagnetic waves. Okay, so the sun, for example, the sun gives out heat. Okay, it gives out radiation as well, but the earth only absorbs 50% of the radiation from the sun. Because why? We have the ozone layer to protect us. But when the ozone layer is depleting, the more it depletes, the more radiation you will get, which is not good for us. Okay, so that is usually radiation is in the form of heat. Okay, for example, like from the sun. Okay, it is in the form of heat, and you cannot see you have no particles involved when it comes to radiation. It involves electromagnetic rays such as infrared, microwave rays, X-rays, gamma rays. Those are all they give out radiation. Okay, so that is all for this week's lesson, and I will see you all next week. Okay, bye bye.